I don't need to hear myself.
It's more official like this.
Now.
It makes it sound like we're talking in front of a crowd of people.
Yeah. How y'all doing?
It's just
Woo! All right.
It's just two.
Young
three
Beat, I
dudes.
said. In the street, mad at me, I said.
Y'all see Jay-Z in the building, or act like you don't see it now.
But the real shit you get when you break down my lines. Had that to the fact I went plat a bunch of times. Times had that by my influence. Her pop culture. I'm supposed to be number one on everybody list. It's crazy right now. You crazy for this one. Super music right here, baby.
So yeah, how's it feel to be a billionaire, Jay? How's it feel?
It's wonderful, man. It's a different tax bracket. It's a different tax bracket. My neighbors are all people with like 2 commas. I'll be saying good morning, 2 commas. What up, 2 commas? It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Period. Just one period.
Right, just one.
Are you ready, Juan?
All right, Jake.
All right.
Oh man.
All
it's
right,
so
Jake. What you think? Roger's my friend because he knows my last name? What you think we gonna roll up in there, slap the cuffs on him? Surprise! You're under arrest, huh? Roger's so dope to kids. The world is a better place without him. Uh-huh. All right, Jake. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, we live inside of the Pac Jam Radio Big Mack.
Jake, it behooves you to not take the money. Fish fry, barbecue. I don't care what you do with it.
Oh my God.
All right, you're gonna make detective, Jake. All right, Hoyt. All right, you got the magic eye, Hoyt. I'm telling you, got the magic eye.
This is gonna be one of those type of interviews. DJ Nasty 305.
And we got a legend hanging out with us.
What's happening?
Aries Spears in the
What's
building.
happening?
What's happening, man? How you
What's
doing?
up, baby? How you doing, man?
This ain't your first time in Miami, right?
No, nigga, I love me, mommy, Florida, baby. These Spanish hoes out here be cracking.
You better believe it. You better believe it.
We look like the different stages of
Different stages of
obesity,
fat.
nigga.
Different stages of fat. So I'm starting it off.
No,
Obviously.
nigga, I'm starting it off. You the midsection, and this is the final stage, nigga.
That's like Ruben Studdard. Like, damn.
Oh
what
my
happened?
goodness, nigga.
This is the worst diabetic commercial.
Oh
ever.
my God. Size this nigga up for a coffin, nigga. And if we got gas, this the Pepto-Bismol, nigga. Like the 3 sexiest Gerald Leverts in the building.
Casanova. You better believe it.
Casanova.
How long you been doing comedy, Aries?
For 30 years, man.
Really?
Started when I was 14, Def Jam at 17, Showtime at the Apollo. No, Def Jam 16, Showtime at the Apollo 17.
16 years old.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Damn.
Still in it.
What keeps you going through 30 years? That's a 3 decades.
Right.
A lot of change in
Right.
the game. What keeps you motivated? What keeps you going?
I got 2 baby mothers, and these bitches is killing me. One is in one pocket, the other one's in the other. I got the government and the mob, one hand in each pocket. Yeah, that child support, that alimony. It's serious business. It's serious business. Oh, I've been sodomized many a time.
Oh man.
So, being on the legendary shows that you have been on,
Right.
what was your most favorite moment to do? Like, out of all the shows?
You talking about Mad TV?
No. I'm talking about the Def Comedy, the Comic Views, the Showtimes, the one that you always remember. Like, yo, I killed.
Well, I don't want to go about. It ain't for me about the kill. It's about the accomplishment. You know, because when my Def Jam aired, I was still in high school.
Oh wow.
So you know,
you was the man.
I became the man that night. Nobody showed me love until that happened. So you know, we all gathered around one of my white friends' house because they had the nicest, biggest living room with cable, and we all sat and watched it. And the first time you heard Kid Capri go, "My man Aries Spears," in the title, it was kind of like, oh, okay.
That day in school, he was, y'all wait till tonight.
Y'all
wait till tonight.
So yeah, that was, and then from there, I quit school and said, pursue the dream, man.
Did you really?
Yeah,
you quit
absolutely. Got my GED. I was out of there. Let me be honest with you. Unless you gonna be a contestant on Jeopardy, you don't need to know nothing about 18th century history. You don't need to know nothing about the hemispheres and the way the cloud systems work. unless you're going to be a weatherman. So really, school is just a waste of time. All you really need is the basics: reading, writing, arithmetic, and some gym. Other than that, school's a waste of time.
And listen, I didn't even need gym. Obviously.
Obviously.
I was like, I'll skip that. Give me 2 lunches.
There you go. You go.
You went to all 3 lunches.
You know what's funny about that? Because I always said, I've been out of school for how long, and never once did my paycheck come and it told me I had the square root of X over pi.
Wow.
But that's my point. Unless you specifically are going, I am going to learn this. Most of what school teaches you doesn't even apply to real life. So, drop out, kids.
Oh, my God.
Pursue your dreams.
Don't you listen to that.
Pursue your dreams.
Don't you listen to that.
Pursue your dreams.
Drop out.
Stay in school.
You got cocaine wishes? Go and leave that school alone.
We got Aries Spears in the Pac Jam. You were at the Miami Improv in Doral tonight.
Yes, tonight 2 shows.
You got a 8 o'clock show and a 10:30 show tonight.
Right, 2
then
shows
tomorrow, 7, 9:30, and then on Sunday you back at 8.
Yeah.
So for everybody who's never been to an Aries Spears show, like myself, I've never been to one
Really?
live. Never been to one live.
Right.
What can they expect? What can people expect?
I tell you
live?
what, you come sit in the front with that shirt.
No, hell no. Hell no. No.
I'm gonna give you exactly what you expect. Nah, man, I'm straight Bolivian uncut yayo, baby. I'm the hard stuff.
Even if you don't wear the shirt, you bring your extra shirt just in case and hand it to
Listen, comedy is such in a moist era right now.
Moist,
man. Political correctness run amok.
Right.
Is that a pause?
No, it ain't a pause, man. I know, but it fits the situation. Cats be squirming in their seats because they get, they too delicate in their britches. You know what I mean? They get offended easily. So I'm always one to go straight for the jugular. So if you've ever seen my comedy, I come from that school of Pryor, Carlin, Murphy. You know what I mean?
Legends.
Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal. So I gotta come hard in the paint, man. I can't do that, silly stuff.
Did you think about changing it when you saw the climate of the culture changing?
Absolutely not. I'm Floridian with my jokes. I stand my ground. You know what I mean? I don't budge, baby.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So you either get on or you get off. You know what I mean? You want to go to jail or you want to go home. There it is.
Wow. Aries Spears in the Pac Jam at the Miami Improv tonight in Doral. So a lot of people know you from Mad TV.
Yeah.
A lot of people know you from the impressions.
How am I sweating and you 2 niggas ain't baking?
Well, I mean,
My goodness.
It could be the shirt.
The pink is helping you, baby.
It could be the
Oh,
shirt.
my God. Okay. And you got a hoodie on.
I am trained
okay.
for years of sweating through.
All right.
Underneath this, I look like one of them rotisserie chickens at Publix.
Okay.
He probably does.
I got to get my fat man tactics better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so, do you? When did it first come to you that these impressions is gonna take me somewhere? Because I'm sure at 16 when you was doing Def Comedy Gym and all that, you wasn't doing that. You had a straight act.
No, I started out with the impressions because Eddie Murphy was such a influence of mine, and I was an 80s baby, so growing up watching him on Saturday Night Live, that's what I honed in on. And plus, I was doing impressions from day one. I was a latchkey kid, so I would come home and TV raised me, man. So I would sit in front of that TV and then go in front of the mirror and practice different impressions in the faces and all that. But then I didn't want to be known as a one-trick pony. So I didn't want people to go. And there's some people that, on social media go, man, that's all you do. You ain't watch my game, homie.
Right.
I don't just dunk. I can pass. I play defense. I rebound. You know what I'm saying? I got an IQ for this shit. So, you know what I mean? So, I wanted people to go, yo, he got improv skills, crowd work, material, smart material. I could go blue. I just, I want facets to this.
You ever have an impression that you worked on and you're like, that it's just trash?
There's guys I wish I could do that I just know I can't. Like to have the first black president and not be able to do Obama was kind of like a personal travesty to me.
Oh, you couldn't do Obama?
Listen, I know his cadence, but his voice, impressions are 2 parts, cadence and voice.
Right.
Denzel, now he does the mouth thing.
And the point.
All right, in the point. So it's the cadence, all right, and it's the voice. It's being able to take it down right here. You know what I'm saying? So, But Obama was always, my daughter, Sasha Malek. What we do here in America. So I knew the cadence, but I didn't feel like I had the voice. I know, but there's some dudes I've seen that do it sick justice.
Yeah,
man.
Well, what is probably like your favorite of all the impressions that you do, what's probably like?
It's always when it's the newest one. So I love all of them. There's no, Michael Jackson. I like Joe, don't like Tito, but like Michael. I love all my kids.
Right.
But the newest ones be the most fun. Tito just now. Paul Mooney, like when I do Paul, you know what I'm saying? Brothers, it's real out here. All of you niggas, you better be careful. This Trump thing, they're putting Mexicans in cages. If they will lock up them goddamn Mexicans, you niggas are next. Don't let these white folks fool you. Make America great again. These white folks are serious, homie. They are serious. You don't be fooled. They're looking at you going, we're going to lock all these niggas up. First, the Mexicans, and then we're coming for the niggas. Don't let these white folks fool you. They're tricky. They are tricky. And they've got that bird man leading them, that white bird man. Look up under that hairdo. That's a goddamn fortress. My keys are under that motherfucker. So, yeah.
Has he heard?
Oh, yeah, Paul knows. Yeah. He loves it. He loves it.
Do you have to run these by people? Or is
no, I just do it, man. And like I said, if you with it, you with it. If you're not, sorry.
Anybody ever get mad like, yo, stop it. Stop, chill out.
DMX, but, I think I caught X in the beginning years when he was going through his, phase.
Why he was on it?
Yeah.
Why he was on it. Yeah.
So he was a little.
The first time?
The first time.
Okay.
So,
right.
but when you get older, these cats mellow out.
Right.
Like when Mike Tyson was in his I'm raping everything phase. But now Mike done found his feng shui, so you can mess with Mike a little bit now, as long as you're not disrespectful. Oh, dude, I did Best Damn Sports Show, and this was right after Mike just lost to Lennox Lewis. And Mike, we all on the couch, and before Mike came, I told Mike Irvin, because Mike Irvin liked to get me going.
Yeah,
hey, Aries, do for the dude. And I'm like, Mike,
right
chill. So he kept trying to get me to do Mike in front of Mike, and I'm telling Irv, hey man, go ahead, man. You got to hear it, Mike. Do it. So I did a little bit, and, it's almost like you sit next to a lion with no trainer and no chain. And he just looking at you with that look like, should I maul this motherfucker? Like, should I just take your manhood on TV and rape you? You know what I mean? And when I did it, he kind of half laughed, but he was like, okay, it's cool.
That's funny.
It's cool. But I was moist in the butt crack. I was slippery in them cheeks, Jack. Believe it.
Bro, switch seats.
The same way in Coming to America when they got off the couch and you see the oil stain. Nigga, I had ass crack juice all on the sofa.
DMX was the same way?
DMX was more like, hey, dog, you know what I mean? I heard some things you do it with my voice. You know what I mean? Let me hear it. Let me hear it.
He said, let me hear it.
Yeah. And I was like, nah, man, it's a work in progress. Yeah, I wasn't, nah, man. Here's what killed me about
Still
X.
working on it, bro.
Like, this lets me know my level of blackness. Like, we all legit, proud, 100% black men. Ain't nothing phony. Ain't no, I don't want to say, ain't no Brian Gumble up here. Even though that's not a slight to because Brian is actually real pro. But X was having a conversation with me. And at one point, when he stopped talking, he took a razor blade out from under his tongue.
Huh?
And he said, your dog. And then he put it back in and would talk while the razor was in his mouth. And I said, I'm not that nigga. I'm a Huxtable. That's good times.
Right.
Like that, like the skill it takes to talk and not cut yourself. I knew I wasn't that deep into blackness.
Then you gotta wonder, what is he preparing for?
Whatever it is, a razor don't belong in your mouth.
Your
and
mouth.
the fact that you could talk and not cut yourself, that's a different level. Nigga, that is different level of skill, nigga.
You got a razor to cut that 8 up. That's what it is.
That is 10th power, nigga, right there. I wasn't.
Aries Spears hanging out in the Pac Jam at the Miami Improv tonight, 8 o'clock, 10:30. Tomorrow's Saturday, 7 o'clock show, 9:30 show, and then on Sunday you got an 8 o'clock show.
That's right.
Finish strong. Now, I'm glad that we brought this up because that was a good segue. I didn't want to cut you off, but we all mentioned our blackness.
Yes.
Now, people tend to bring old things up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
And I know years ago you did an interview.
Uh-huh.
And you made some comments about the level of some people's blackness.
I thought you was going somewhere else with it.
I was going.
But okay, go ahead.
So
Key and Peele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the comment you made?
Whatever it was an episode of Dave Chappelle's When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you something, man. It was weird. Like, when we had Key and Peele on Mad, like, Keegan, you could see it. Like, his talent in terms of what he did on the show.
Right.
You knew, okay, yeah, he's in the starting lineup. Jordan was so quiet and reserved and really didn't bring much to the show. Not to say it wasn't good. He didn't have that explosive in your face.
Right.
But who would have thought? Who would have thought? Yeah. So I just, and listen, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, man, because I stand by what I said. I believe in what I said.
What you had said was, so you don't have to repeat it, but what you had said was that they're not no real, they're not, like if some real ran up on them, they could smell that they were some real.
If some real niggas ran up on me, I could smell it.
Right.
But the difference is I can navigate my way through that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. You felt like they were black kids with white friends, basically.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah. And I wasn't necessarily saying that,
it wasn't a bad thing. It was an observation.
It's an observation that is made within the community that truly exists.
And you can see it in the comments.
Right. But anytime you question anybody's authenticity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So that came to bite you in the ass later.
Of course it did. Of course it did.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if he knows. So you might want to just tell him so he understands what had happened later on.
Oh, you talking about with the Tracy Morgan?
The audition.
Yeah, I had auditioned for The Last OG with Tracy Morgan, the part they gave to Cedric, which I don't even know if that had anything to do with it. Cedric is the obvious choice. He's the bigger name.
Right.
And in TV, bigger is better. Not always, but that's the philosophy. But I knew walking into the audition, and here's the thing. It wasn't like Jordan made me feel it. It wasn't like he looked at me and went, do your audition. He played it professional, cool.
Right.
We slapped hands. Yo, bro, what's up? How you doing, man? Love. But my spider sense was tingling.
Right.
And there was a couple there was a couple of white boys in the room, and I could tell by the way they were looking at me. I said, if Jordan saw it or didn't, or if he saw it, whatever thoughts he may have felt, they got in his ear too.
Right.
This motherfucker, man.
Who's next? Aries Spears?
Oh,
yeah,
right. So I would just, if I had it to do all over again, you just got to watch what you say sometimes.
Like,
it's best
like kids drop out. Like
it just it's best to be a little bit more careful. You know what I mean?
Tomorrow you're going to be on Google, but Aries Spears wants kids to drop out.
No. I stand by that shit. I dropped out, and I'm doing well.
So what would you? So being that you've been in the game so long, right? And I don't know if you know, but Mac is an aspiring comedian.
It's the shirt,
right? It's definitely it could be the shirt.
It's
Who
locking
knows?
up your dialogue.
Everything, right? What advice would you give to comedians on the come up like Mac? And, just comedians on the come up. What type of advice?
Well, be honest with yourself. If you stink, get out the game because you holding up the line. You know what I mean? It's like comedy is like entertainment period is like Studio 54. Everybody's trying to get on the other side of the velvet rope, but everybody don't deserve to get on the other side of the velvet rope. But if you're really good at it, it's a 15-round fight, man. You're not going to win every round. So sometimes you got to cover up and take them rip shots.
And I learned that very fast.
And answer as long as you answer the bell, you good, man. Just keep coming. Just keep answering that bell.
I haven't had a boo yet, but I've definitely had a
I got booed at Madison. I got booed. I'm from New York, and I got booed the first time I did Madison Square Garden.
Oh, wow.
And that walk from
Madison
Square Garden.
Oh, wow.
And to be honest with you, I did it 3 times. The first time I was booed. The second time didn't go well either. But the third time, the last time I did it with Tracy Morgan on a little bit of a tour, it went phenomenal. But that walk back from the Garden to my hotel, which wasn't but a couple of blocks, I felt like Bill Bixby and the Hulk from the 1970s. Wow. Like you heard the doom 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 doom. I heard every car. I was like a hitchhiker, dude. That was the loneliest one. You, as a comic, when you stink and you bomb, you can hear the pussies dry up in the room.
Yeah.
Like, we are not fucking him.
I haven't had a boo, but I had a silence where I could hear motherfuckers texting.
Oh, I said,
hear all that.
you know you having a rough night when you can hear people eating their chicken wings.
Yeah. I heard a nigga arguing about a bill, talking about niggas. I didn't get the mozzarella sticks. You got. I said, oh no. I didn't hear the tip.
Right.
You still owe
But hey, man, that's how you you know. You gotta navigate through that, man. You gotta learn that. That's the ropes.
I mean, but I'm still growing, but I'm at the point now where.
Well, you don't. No.
Don't grow no more.
No, but go ahead. No, I know. We all still growing.
No, I'm at the point where when the first joke and the second joke don't hit, I'm rushing through it now.
But see, don't do that. Here's what you do.
I'm learning that.
Here's the magician trick, right? Because I say comics, we like magicians. You know, we do stuff that we've done before in other cities.
Mm-hmm. And it kills.
No, it kills, but now you know to put that in your repertoire.
Right.
So when you do it in front of a crowd that's never seen it, ta-da, it looks spontaneous.
Amazing.
It's magical.
Right.
But you know the trick. You know what I'm saying? So maybe if you want to try a couple new jokes, don't just do all new jokes. Layer the new jokes in with the stuff you know that works.
I just learned that 2 months ago.
If it don't work, you can just quickly go and look at this shit I'm about to throw at you. And sometimes they don't even catch it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, you know, how long you been doing it?
A year strong.
Right.
Like, I've dabbled off and on, but
Right.
a year and some change.
Right.
Like actually serious writing,
Right.
studying, and all that stuff. The last time I did the improv was all new.
Right.
And when when Darren was there, I went in there. I'm like, oh, all new. And I went in there and I said, oh, Aries Spears in the back.
Yo,
there.
check out my podcast, man. Spears and Steinberg.
You don't know the name of your podcast?
I'm tripping right now. I be a fan of my own shit sometimes. Spears and Steinberg, a.k.a. The Jew and the Jerk, available through iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. Subscribe and rate us. We need that because we trying to grow, man.
How long you been doing the podcast now?
Almost 2 years.
How do you find time to do that?
We do it on the road. My feature comedian Andy Steinberg is my podcast partner. So we're every week, whatever city we're in, we just do it on the road.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I did y'all Miami. You did the Miami episode.
No, we're gonna do that this weekend.
Okay. You need some extras. You know, we here.
I got you, baby. I got you.
We will bring all the wet naps. We'll bring towels.
We got wet naps, towels, water, and everything.
That's our wet nap man back there.
When you were talking about, getting the role, Cedric getting the role over you.
Yeah.
Because you've been doing it so long, you ever feel like, what? My name is as big as these names, or I should be a bigger name than that?
It's not for me to say that, but the people have said it.
Mm-hmm.
And, people take me as bitter, angry, because you're not allowed, only rappers are allowed to call themselves the best.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not a rapper or an athlete, and you say, hey, I think I'm worth something, you bitter, angry, envy, jealous. But it's what I believe. Am I better than Chappelle? Hell no. Am I better than Patrice O'Neal? I wish, but I'm in the conversation. If comedy was an all-star team, I'm on the team. I'm gonna quote Karl Malone from the Dream Team special or whatever they did. I don't care if you call me last. I got the call.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you place whoever you want, where you want. If Chappelle is Jordan and Patrice was Magic, and I don't care if I'll take Christian Laettner. I'm on the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You have a top
and
five?
I think I'm higher than that. But I'm on the team.
Do you have a top five?
Oh yeah. Well, my Mount Rushmore, and I don't count Eddie Murphy, Pryor, Fox, because that's the Mount Olympus.
Right.
That's the gods. That's different.
The ones that's not gonna move.
Right. That's icons. But Dave Chappelle, the late Patrice O'Neal, Bill Burr, and Tommy Davidson, man. Because if you've ever seen his live show, Tommy's a monster.
He leaves it all on the stage.
Tommy, and just talented, man. Range. Tommy got range, man. Yeah.
Wow.
And anybody you would love to go on tour with that you haven't done a show
Oh,
with?
dude, if he was still alive, I would have loved to have seen a tour with me, Patrice, Dave.
Do you think that your, I guess, because I feel like you have different seasons. You know what I mean? Where you had Mad TV, then you had all this. Do you feel like when you did Shaq's All-Star, that was like the rebirth at that point?
I didn't even think. I didn't. It was the first one of the Shaq All-Stars, so you didn't know what to expect. And I'd be lying to you if I said, "Oh, I knew that was gonna." No idea. And I remember we did a concert in Chicago. I forget the name of that famous theater in Chicago, but it was Earthquake, me, Kevin Hart, and the Shaq's All-Star just hit. And it took off like crazy. Kevin was like, "Yo, people keep talking about it. It was blowing up and blah blah blah." So, you never know, but it did what it did, and I was happy to be a part of that first one because I know Shaq's done a ton of them.
Now that first one, there's nothing like.
I don't think anything, and I'm not just saying that because I'm in it. I mean, when you really look at it and watch what Kevin did, what I did, D-Ray did, Cedric did, and I think very much on that special, so underrated. Tommy Davidson.
Killed it.
His performance with that Spanish shit.
Killed it.
Oh, my God. The soap opera and the No te debe, no te mira. Man, that's one of those as a comic you look at and go, I wish I could do that.
You have those moments? Where you
what? His ability to talk fluent Spanish, and you can hear him, he can sing, and to put that piece together like that, oh, that's a brilliant piece. That's a brilliant piece, man. That's a genius moment right there.
So, do you ever get moments where you can actually tell? You know how they say give them flowers while they're here. Do you give these different comedians these moments like that? You're like, yo, bruh,
You mean give the love?
Where you tell them like, brilliant. Like,
yeah. Tommy knows how I feel about him. I said, Tommy, man, you a monster, man. You a monster. There's not many people I would be nervous to follow. Tommy's one. If he was still alive, Patrice would be, and Dave.
That's the three.
That's the three, man. I'd go anybody else. I'm in it.
No Rock?
Listen, this might be one of them moments.
Go ahead. Have one of your moments.
Chris Rock is a genius. Comedic genius. I get it. Does he make me laugh? No. That's not to say he's not funny.
Right.
I get. You know how you see motherfuckers and you go, I get it. But not for me.
Right.
He like, I think his brother Tony Rock is way funnier.
Really?
Yes. Tony's hilarious, dude. But again, remember, before y'all start, I can already see you keyboard warriors. You bitter, you jealous. No, I'm saying Chris Rock's brilliant. His mind, I love black people. I hate niggas. Brilliant bit.
Right.
But it's subjective. He just doesn't make me laugh.
Right.
But I get his brilliance, though. I get it.
So what's next for you, man? You got podcasts popping off.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, what's next for you?
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. This Hollywood game is tricky. You know what I mean? This. I don't know if I'm gonna ever get in to the high school club. I certainly know I ain't gonna get in through the front door. So whether I get in through a crack in the wall or through the skylight or underneath the basement,
you gonna get in.
I'm gonna get in, but it won't be through the front door. You know, they ain't not answering my knock.
Because I'm surprised, man. I would assume that you probably have like your own Netflix special now.
Netflix turned me down. They turned me down.
Wow.
And again,
it wasn't on some Monique.
No, I think again there's a perception of me. And when that thing happened with Corey Holcomb on the 5150, my manager told me he showed it to Netflix, and a couple of the execs were like laughing. They were like, "Good, he got what he deserved."
Wow.
Because again, if you follow me on Instagram, or if you follow me on Twitter when I was on Twitter, I don't bite my tongue, and I talk how I talk, and for some people that's it's brash, it's perceived as arrogant, it's conceived as diva, it's conceived as loudmouth, too much,
right?
You know, so there it is.
Are you happy?
At times. Listen, man, I fuck a lot. I stay dipped in pussy.
Oh my God!
I wear pussy like it's a fragrance.
Oh boy!
You know what I mean? So that's happiness for me. You got to find your moments of happiness in life, because life is pretty much made up of disappointment. I always say life is like one big casino. Everybody's dealt a hand to play. Very few people beat the house. The truth is most of us get to enjoy the free liquor and the 99-cent buffet. That's as good as it gets. You know what I mean? So you got to find your pockets.
I don't even need the liquor.
Of whatever. Just find your moments of happiness. So I'm serious, man. I screw a lot. And if I got to pay for it, I don't mind. I'll pay for some pussy in a minute.
Hey, I'm with you.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
Listen, you paying for it regardless.
There's nothing wrong paying
Whether you slide over the manila envelope and say, hey, or you dinner,
you go
wine,
get a haircut,
dine.
You go get a haircut, you paying for it.
Right.
You go to dinner, you go to night, you paying for it.
And here's the thing.
Gas in that car, you paying for it.
If you doing the courtship, there's no guarantee you still gonna get it. She has to like you. She has to want you. So you go out on 2-3 dates and she decides, nah, that's a bad investment on your part.
Real talk.
So I would rather just go, hey, how much is the light bill? How much is your son's tricycle?
$70.
Then there you go. Here's the money. I get the sex. You leave. I can hear the magical song. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. I can catch the top 10, baby. It's a win-win.
The Miami Improv tonight. Aries Spears, 8 o'clock, 10:30. Tomorrow, y'all come out, 7 o'clock show and a 9:30 show.
I don't know about that light.
And on Sunday, I will definitely be there at the Sunday show, 8 o'clock. Anything else you want to say to Miami while you here?
Miami, to the ladies, come on, man, come on out. You know how I feel about you gals. You dress like you don't like your fathers. I love it. I love it. And at the end of the night, I'm looking for low self-esteem. I'm looking for wounded deer. You got a little vomit in your head. You walking dead. I'm coming to get you. I don't want no self-esteem. I'm too busy. It's too hot for games.
Yeah, that's true.